Guys, the DNI head Tulsi Gabbard just released evidence showing that Obama administration actually signed off on infiltrating basically President Trump's campaign. I can't believe this. This is actual evidence. It's not proof yet. It hasn't gone through the court of law, but just showing the documents that show that Obama signed off on using fabricated, and I guess maybe not fabricated might be a strong word, but very not corroborated evidence to actually go in and spy on Trump's campaign. It's all tying into the Russia collusion crap and all this stuff that was going on that really kind of derailed that first term that he had. But this is absolutely nuts, guys. So we're going to dive right into it. But welcome to Get Into the Facts. I'm your host, Andrew Curiel. You already know what it is, guys. Thanks for joining me this morning or whenever you're watching it, honestly. But I hope you're having a great day. Make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe to that channel if you haven't already, guys. We're going to dive right into this, all right? We got this here. On Friday, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard revealed overwhelming evidence that demonstrates how after President Trump won the 2016 election against Hillary Clinton, President Obama and his national security cabinet members manufactured and politicized intelligence to lay the groundwork for what was essentially a years-long coup against President Trump. In the months leading up to the November 2016 election, the intelligence community consistently assessed that Russia is probably not trying to influence the election by using cyber means. On December 7th, 2016, after the election, talking points were prepared for DNI James Clapper, stating foreign adversaries did not use cyber attacks on the election infrastructure to alter the U.S. presidential election outcome. On December 9th, 2016, President Obama's White House gathered top National Security Council principals for a meeting that included James Clapper, John Brennan, Susan Rice, John Kerry, Loretta Lynch, Andrew McCabe, and others to discuss Russia. After the meeting, DNI Clapper's executive assistant sent an email to IC leaders tasking them with creating a new IC assessment per the president's request that details the tools Moscow used and actions it took to influence the 2016 election. It went on to say ODNI will lead this effort with participation from CIA, FBI, NSA, and DHS. Obama officials leaked false statements to media outlets, including the Washington Post, claiming Russia has attempted through cyber means to interfere in, if not actively influence, the outcome of an election. On January 6, 2017, a new intelligence community assessment was released that directly contradicted the IC assessments that were made throughout the previous 6 months. So all in all, guys, all in all, what they're saying is all those meetings that they had, all saying that Russia influenced through cyber means to influence our election, when they came back out with their assessments on that, all BS. That's exactly what that's saying. It was all BS. And it was per the president's request. Guys, this is the most abuse of power that I think I've ever seen. And again, it's not proven yet, but the documents are there from the national intelligence. Okay. These documents just don't appear out of thin air. Okay. This is crazy stuff. Absolute crazy stuff, guys. So let's get right back over here. And I got a little video clip on actually showing what Tulsi Gabbard has to say about this as well. So let's watch this.
The implications of this are far-reaching and have to do with the integrity of our democratic republic. It has to do with an outgoing president taking action to manufacture intelligence to undermine and usurp the will of the American people in that election and launch what would be a years-long coup against the incoming President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Director Gabbard, you referenced the past intelligence reports and assessments on this, including that 2017 one that was signed off, as Ed noted, by every Republican on the Senate Intelligence Community, including the acting chair of the time, now Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who said in a statement that they did not find any evidence of Russian collusion, but they did find, however, is very troubling, and they found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling. One, are you saying that he's wrong in that statement that he made then? And secondly, what would you say to people who believe that you're only releasing these documents now to improve your standing with the president after he said that your intelligence assessments were wrong?
The evidence and the intelligence that has been declassified and released is irrefutable. I'm going to let Caroline speak to Secretary Rubio.
I'll speak to both questions. First, on Secretary Rubio, he put out a statement in 2020 following that Senate Intelligence Committee report, and he said what they found is troubling. We found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling, which the Director of National Intelligence just confirmed for all of you, that Russia was trying to sow distrust and chaos. But what's the outrage in this, that Secretary Rubio did not say at the time, the Democrats were saying at the time, is the fact that the intelligence community was concocting this narrative that the president colluded with the Russians. The only people who are suggesting that the Director of National Intelligence would release evidence to try to boost her standing with the president are the people in this room who constantly try to sow distrust and chaos amongst the president's cabinet, and it is not working. I will just answer your question directly. I am with the President of the United States every day. He has the utmost confidence in Director Gabbard. He always has. He continues to.
It's just unbelievable stuff, guys. This is just unbelievable stuff. And I hope they dive into this. I really hope this gets to a place where we can really get some more detailed evidence and proof on this and really see how deep did this really go. He used 4 different agencies: the CIA, the FBI, DHS, the DNI. He weaponized the entire executive branch. And I don't care if you don't like Trump. I just don't care if you don't like Trump. It's not the point. Even just think for a second outside of your team, whatever, if it's Democrat, Republican, whatever the hell it is. Just think about this. They were so against what Trump was running on that they tried everything and continued to try everything after that, going after and trying to raid his Mar-a-Lago with armed FBI agents. It just goes way beyond anything that we've ever seen when it comes to this. And the only thing that I can conclude on this is establishment politicians do not want Trump actually getting in and unsealing all of the corruption that's been going on. We have been being bled to the bone when it comes to them outsourcing our jobs, devaluing our currency for decades, guys. And now we're starting to see what's happened. It's almost like all these establishment politicians have just come to the same team, no matter if they're Democrat or Republican. And it's just like, let's just get as much money as we can and we'll outsource everything to other countries. Globalization will just happen and the United States won't be a superpower. It'll just be another one of those countries. And that is just so disturbing to me because we are the one bright beacon of freedom in the entire world. Okay. And we're trying to claw back a lot of our freedoms now, but man, were we losing them for a while. Okay. And I think we're starting to turn the tide on this. I think people are starting to wake up on how important this is. But man, guys, this stuff is just crazy to be reading. Now let's actually go over, to NBC and really see what Obama had to say. Obviously, this is actually kind of weird. I don't know why he would even make a statement. If it's this outrageous, if it's this bizarre, just don't even give it time. Don't even give it time of day. Don't even make a statement. Because that's what you do when you're in the spotlight like this and you don't want to be in the spotlight. You don't say anything and it goes away as quick as possible. When you make a statement, it just lingers in the news. But let's watch and see what this has to say. NBC News: Obama pushes back on Trump's outrageous and bizarre treason claims. Former President Barack Obama's office issued a rare rebuke of President Donald Trump on Tuesday after the president accused his predecessor of having committed treason and rigging the 2016 and 2020 elections. I have respect for the office of the presidency. Our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House, with a response, Obama spokesperson Patrick Rodenbush said. But these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculed and a weak attempt at distraction. When reporters on Tuesday asked Trump about the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, he pivoted to what he called Obama's criminality. After what they did to me and whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. Obama's been caught directly, Trump told reporters. What they did in 2016 and 2020 is very criminal. It's criminal at the highest level. So that's really the things you should be talking about. Look, he's guilty. It's not a question, Trump added. This was treason. This was every word you can think of. They tried to steal the election. They tried to obfuscate the election. Trump was referring to claims made by National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard and CIA Director John Ratcliffe in social media posts and television appearances that they had found Obama administration officials manipulated intelligence and conspired to undermine the legitimacy of Trump's electoral victory in 2016. Gabbard posted on social media on Friday that she was making criminal referral to the Justice Department. At an event with congressional Republicans later Tuesday, Trump praised Gabbard and again accused Obama of being part of an effort to rig the election. These are vicious, horrible people, he said of the former president and others. Rodenbush said the Trump administration is being misleading about the information it's using to push its claims. Nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. These findings were affirmed in a 2020 report by the bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee led by then Chairman Marco Rubio, Rodenbush said. Yeah, in 2020. In 2020. This happened in 2016. Okay? Like, this happened in 2016. And this is not misleading information. This is not. It said per the president's request that they take that information. And guys, we're going to get into this too. I'm going to show you that they use the Steele dossier. The Steele dossier was part of the whole reason why they were able to even get the authority to be able to spy on the campaign. That's what's crazy. And let's watch this over here, guys. From AP News, Trump dossier source shocked, speculation portrayed as fact. A Russian-born analyst who provided the bulk of the information for a flawed dossier about former President Donald Trump told an FBI agent he was shocked and dismayed that the speculative information he provided was portrayed as fact. An agent testified Thursday. FBI agent Kevin Helson is the second bureau employee to testify at the trial of Igor Danchenko, who's accused of lying to the FBI about his own sources for the information he passed on to British spy Christopher Steele. The Steele dossier contained numerous allegations about connections between Trump's 2016 presidential campaign and the Kremlin, and also included allegations of salacious sexual activity that Trump supposedly engaged in at a Moscow hotel. Prosecutors said Danchenko should have been more forthcoming about his own sources, and that if he had done so, the FBI would not have treated the dossier as credulously as it did. As it turned out, the FBI used the allegations in the dossier to obtain a surveillance warrant against a Trump campaign staffer, Carter Page. Helson, though, offered largely positive assessments of his interviews with Danchenko when he was cross-examined by Danchenko's attorneys. In that respect, Helson's testimony mirrored that of the first FBI witness, analyst Brian Auten, who contradicted the prosecution theory that Danchenko fabricated interactions with one of his supposed subsources, Sergei Milian. Helson served as Danchenko's handler from 2017 through 2020, a time period in which Danchenko was a paid, confidential human source for the FBI. I mean, guys, right there, it was used. That was the reason they were able to spy on the Trump campaign. All fabricated. Known it was fabricated. They came out saying it was fabricated. I just don't understand it, guys. I just don't get it. This definitely has to be fully investigated. This is definitely a criminal referral. It has to be. I don't care what you think about Obama. Like, I thought Obama was a good president when he was first elected in 2008. By the time 2012 rolled around, I'm like, oh, hell no. Hell no. He just keeps trying to buy votes. Obamacare was a disaster. Still is a disaster. Completely messed up the healthcare system, and healthcare system has been messed up anyway, so it just kind of made it a little bit worse in my personal opinion. But it's just crazy, guys. And I think we got one more thing here. Let's go back here. Oh, yeah. And we talk about Hillary Clinton. This shows that Hillary Clinton and the DNC had actual they were involved in a very high level with getting the Steele dossier that led to Donald Trump's campaign being able to be spied on. Okay, so here from CNN, FEC fines Hillary Clinton campaign and DNC over Trump Russia dossier research. Federal election regulators fined Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign and the Democratic National Committee earlier this month for not properly disclosing the money they spent on controversial opposition research that led to the infamous Trump Russia dossier. The DNC was fined $105,000 and the Clinton campaign was fined $8,000. That's barely even a fine. And was sent by the Federal Election Commission to a conservative group that requested an inquiry. Political candidates and groups are required to publicly disclose their spending to the FEC, and they must explain the purpose of any specific expenditure more than $200. The FEC concluded that the Clinton campaign and the DNC misreported the money that funded the dossier, making it as legal services and legal and compliance consulting instead of opposition research. The dossier was compiled by retired British spy Christopher Steele. It contained unverified and salacious allegations about Donald Trump, including claims that his campaign colluded with the Kremlin to win the 2016 election. Trump's campaign had numerous contacts with Russian agents and embraced Russian help, but no one was ever formally accused of conspiring with Russia. And I don't understand how they can even say that. I mean, CNN is just kind of ridiculous with that. The money trail behind the Steele dossier has been a subject of intense political scrutiny for years. More than $1 million flowed from the Clinton campaign and DNC to the law firm Perkins Coie, which then hired the opposition research company Fusion GPS. That company later hired Steele and asked him to use his overseas contacts to dig up dirt about Trump's ties to Russia. Steele has maintained that his research was unverified, required further investigation, and was not meant for public disclosure. And that's exactly what it was used for. It was used to just completely lambaste Trump and make him look like he's doing sexual things in Moscow and he's actually colluding with Russia, when there's actually evidence that Russia wanted Hillary Clinton to win because of her poor health. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, but she was passing out before she could even get into her car a couple times when she was running in 2016. I mean, guys, this is just crazy stuff that we ran into here, and we need more info. Okay, I'm not saying that this is a complete done deal and Obama's guilty of absolutely everything and he needs to get locked up. I'm not there yet. Okay, I'm not there, but this is as much of a criminal referral as you can get. I mean, this definitely is enough evidence from the Department of National Intelligence to warrant a criminal referral. Definitely is. So get your popcorn ready, guys. Get your drink ready. And we're going to see where this really goes. Okay. This will be crazy. This will be crazy, guys. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I'll see you on that next video.